Welcome back to Oak Bridge Farm, episode 24. Just getting these... Ooh. What's going on there? Just getting these straw bales stacked up. Yeah, that's a little tough there. I don't know what's going on. Don't want to flip, so I guess we'll go like this. Maybe it's in that pipe a little bit. I am a little bit under the weather. My body's fighting something, so I'm probably not going to talk a whole lot in this episode. Once we get some things going. But the farm life doesn't stop. We have to keep her moving here. Yeah, in today's episode, we just, well, I should say on the previous episode, we planted that canola on our new field. We got to get down there and see if the slurry is going to work, because I'm not absolutely sure that it will. Because it's already grown pretty good, actually. Crazy how tall it is. Again, these straw bales should last us for the entire episode. Or I should say series. We do want to get our barley planted on our home farm here as well. In our small field, we will use that for the chickens. Let's throw it in the silo. I need to check and see if we have to do any sales. I don't think we do. Doesn't hurt to check here. Yeah, it won't be till January on that linseed. There's gonna be some good money though. Let's run this back and we'll get the slurry tank filled up. Then we'll run down to that canola field and we'll see if it'll work. If not, we're gonna have to use the spreader and just spread fertilizer because we're not gonna miss out on that bonus. Yeah. Be ready to fill here. 16,000. Yeah, we got it all. We'll see if it works. I don't even if it does work, I don't think it's gonna go very far. I almost should have just used it on the home fields, but we'll see how far it goes. Okay, we have arrived. I don't think it should run down our crop. Yeah, we're good yet. I guess... Is it really like where the weeds are? It's not fertilized? That's kind of interesting. Yeah, it looks like it. Well, maybe a little on the end. Yeah, I think it goes over just a little bit. That's weird how that kind of turned out. Let's see. So we got to turn on our... Oh, it's all on automatic. We should be able to drop it. Have everything work correctly. Maybe. Turn the mini map on, then we can see. Yeah, I don't think this is going to last very long. Yeah, we're overlapping actually a little bit. Oh, right where the weeds are. It's really weird. We're going to have to weed this as well. Like I said, we got a lot of work to do. But I think what we'll do is get this slurried. We'll run the weeder on it. We'll have to use some with our thrower as well. I'm going to put a lot of this in the time-lapse because, like I said, my voice is not the best today. We'll just have a nice, more time-lapsed episode. I'm constantly sneezing and blowing my nose. Nice time of year. I don't know if it's allergies or whatever, but it is what it is. So enjoy the time lapse. Okay, I was just taking a look here at the, because I was trying to figure out what we're supposed to use this proactive. We're actually supposed to use it for the fertilizer application, so we will try this. We'll even buy it. We'll actually put a get a weight on it here. We go with the 900. 25,000. We'll have to drop our weight. I should put this over here. Or not forget it there. Yeah, we'll see if it makes some difference. I'm not actually sure how good that sensor would work. I think while we're down there, we'll also go ahead and fix up our tractor. Getting pretty low on the wrench there. Ooh, that's a bit, that's spendy. And then we'll also have to buy some more fertilizer. Fill her up. Tried to save money by doing it ourselves with our cows, but it's just... they didn't, or I should say our pigs, they didn't produce enough. Okay, I'm sure this won't be cheap either. And no, 34,000. Holy moly. That was spendy. We would have been better off, I think, running it with a direct drill. I really did want to get that slurry tried, but I guess, like I said, it didn't go very long. I'm not 100% how this sensor's gonna work. Drop it down, or I guess unfold it, and then we got to, okay, turn on crop sensor, Alt B. And now it's activated. So that should work. And then we just go up and down the rows, I think. Let's change our width here too. Okay. But a shot. Hopefully it's the sensors actually help it get a better range. You can see how much better it already is than our slurry we put down. Okay, I'm gonna get off on this, and then we'll, like I said, we'll get back and we'll do our barley. We'll get the weeding done here as well. So it'll be a nice long time lapse. So I was going to buy 2 pallets, but I figured, let's keep it realistic, and we'd only realistically in real life do 1. It'd be way too tipsy, not to mention it'd be way too much weight for this side by side. We're going to look at the growth stages, and I want to see if our soybeans are going to be ready to harvest next month, because they're still growing up on our west field there. If they're not ready, well, we will advance, but if they're not ready, I think we're going to plant the linseed here on the home area. I guess we can just leave this here until we need it. There we go. How is the roller doing? Finishing up. Yeah, so if we look, growth, it doesn't look that dark, so it might actually be another month. It should be next month, actually. So if that's the case, we'll advance, and then we'll get those picked here to finish out the episode, I think. It looks like all this is rolled pretty well. Looks like we're getting a low on fuel too. We'll have to get that topped up. But otherwise, this field should be ready to rock and roll. Here we go. There was a little bit that I thought they missed up here, but maybe they must have came back and got that. It looks good. We'll go with that then. Oops. There we go. Let's check it. Looks like good and perfect. Rolled. Yeah, so we're good. This, like I said, this barley will just be used for our chickens. I don't know if we have too many more years left. We're probably gonna, at some point here, I did want to get finished up by episode 25, which is going to be next episode, but I think what we'll do is we'll go 1 more year cycle, which actually ain't that many episodes when you think about it. We also had some manure we want to try, which ain't going to actually get very far because there's not much there. What do we have? 3,000? Yeah, not going to be much at all. Well, let's see here. Yeah, let's refill. I think we need to shut our tractor off here. Let's check up on our livestock. Still look decent. 16 months. And then our chickens are still productive as well. Yeah, let's go ahead and advance to November. We're gonna have to actually sell some eggs, and then we'll get on with the soybean harvest, I think. It should be ready to go. Okay, good morning. We are in November. Slowing down time again a little bit. It was way too dark. I figured let's run it up a little bit. Yeah, we gotta get these loaded. We gotta get the... We're gonna take the other trailer. So we can get those eggs delivered. What we should do is get a worker going on our harvest. Is it ready? So they can do that while we deliver. It should be ready. It is. Perfect. We'll run down here quick. We'll get this put off on a worker. And we can deliver our eggs. Let's see. I'm a little... We'll do this corner. I want to see what our harvest is going to be. It tells us per hectare what our yield's going to be. Yeah, this is a little slow starting out too. Really weird why it does that. Shouldn't take too long though. I mean, this is a nice working width for this field. Yeah, so we got, yeah, 98%. That's pretty good. I believe it's considered a mulch state since we're doing that shredded. Yep. Yeah, we probably actually won't even need a mulcher in this episode, or series, excuse me. I do want to use that new one at some point, though. Okay, so we'll put this off on a worker. I think we'll have him do a couple headlands. We'll let them get at it. And we'll get these eggs loaded up and sold. $34,713 and a 3,218 environmental score. Very nice. Okay, we'll get back to the farm and then we'll continue the harvest. Looks like we got 26,922 for soybeans. Not bad at all. We'll go back into the farm the back way. And I think we'll get this dumped in the silo. We'll see when it's going to be sold. And then I think we'll call it for today's episode. We should actually get some wheel weights on this tractor too, because that's why they're sliding around so much. Probably do that before we forget. Like, definitely struggling sometimes. Yeah, let's do that right away. Get her configured up. We're probably going to have to move that auger again. I think yeah, it's off center again from the silo. Here, we'll set up we want. Wind wheels wouldn't be bad, but we just don't have the room on this map. Wide tire weights is what we want. 7 grand. Woo! See, we'll try to back up right there, I think. Yeah, I'm thinking what we're going to do for the, like, kind of to wrap up the series, and I think what we might do is we're going to sell our green bean harvester. So we'll finish this year out. And then our crops, and then we'll sell our green bean harvester, we'll sell the other field that we bought down by the east side there by the store. And then we'll probably buy one big field for like a grand finale. It is pretty bumpy in here. If I remember right, I don't think it likes to dump on this side of the scoop there. Okay, we shifted it around. We'll try it on this side. I think it works better on this side to dump. I think if I ever had to do it all over again, we'd just go with a regular silo without the augers. It's just been nothing but problems with this one. There we go. Excellent. In the silo you go. I want to see how full we're getting too, because we're probably... I think it almost holds, what, 900,000? Yeah, 980,000. Got plenty of room, I guess. Yeah, it'd probably be wise to put a different silo in, but again, we're almost done with the series, so gotta worry about it too much. Slow dump. Okay, last little bit going in the silo there, and this will deliver, probably July if I had to guess. July, yep. Almost 100,000, that's nice. Looks like our pigs have reproduced as well. 0 months, got another generation started. Yeah, looking at the planting map here as well. Our linseed, we could get up there and get that seeded yet this month. We might do that in the next episode before we advance. Although the day is getting late on us too, but I don't think that's not a bad idea. I think I'm going to take the cedar up there, or maybe I'll leave it in front so I see it when we start the episode. But I think that's what we'll do. We'll seed up there with the linseed on our west field that we just harvested. And then, yeah, then we'll go from there. So thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you on the next one. I'm going to get the harvester back down here.